Yo, man, what's up? Hit that like button if you're watching this video. Wow. So, Cris Carter, former NFL player, Hall of Famer, he tells you about it every 5 fucking minutes. Fox Sports FS1 let him go. Now, he hasn't appeared since October 30th, the day before Halloween. He hasn't been reached to make a response yet to explain why he was fired. I'm pretty sure it'll come out in the next few days to a week. Chris Canty from the New York Giants, who I think is a better, better place for that host for that position. I think Chris Canty fits better. He's replaced him temporarily. He probably will be the permanent guy. He might not be as popular or as well as his resume might not be as polished, but he has won a championship. Ironically, and that's something Cris Carter never did. Cris Carter on his Twitter has got like a lot of religious stuff, and like I say, he's a former drug addict. A lot of former drug addicts, religion is huge to them because they need something to give them hope. There's rumors that it could have been because he kept forcing religion on the show, and it's a sports show. It's also rumors that he was upset because they wouldn't put him on the Thursday night football panel. Fox. Any of that could be true. All of that could be true. Who knows? I mean, I do know he used to always brag about his trip to Israel with the NFL and Robert Kraft, and he was bringing that up all the time. First things first, I mean, if you up at 6:30 in the morning, it's a show to watch. It's not something I would set my alarm clock to get up and watch every morning. Nick Wright is kind of goofy to me. He's one of those biased analysts who, he's a devoted Kansas City Chiefs fan and LeBron fanboy. And I always felt like Cris Carter used to sun him so much. It was like it was a father-son kind of relationship. He never really looked at Nick Wright as one of his equals or one of his peers. It's not like Mike and Mike where you had Greeny and Golick. And even though Golick was a former NFL player and Greeny was just an anchorman, Golick treated, Mike Greeny with respect. Cris Carter never really respected Nick Wright, and I don't think they had a problem. But if you ever seen the show, you would constantly see Cris Carter over talking him, sunning him constantly, picking on him, interrupting him, putting him in his place. And it was like, okay, at first it was funny. Now it's just like, damn, dude, like, this is your co-host. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Batman and Robin. Y'all supposed to be equal peers. But, yeah, they got him up out of here. And he hasn't made a response yet. Nobody knows why. It could be a number of things. I always felt like Cris Carter had an inferiority complex because he was a great player who somewhat was overshadowed because he played on a team that a lot of people didn't really check for, the Minnesota Vikings. He was overshadowed by great receivers in his prime, like Jerry Rice, of course, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, so forth and so forth. And he never played in a Super Bowl, let alone won a Super Bowl. So he always bragged about, I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Because the Hall of Fame is all he has. So he'll tell you every 5 minutes, he'll remind you he's in the Hall of Fame. So his personality can kind of rub people the wrong way. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, he was on HBO Sports. They let him go. Then he was on ESPN. They let him go when he went and was talking to them. Him and Warren Sapp was talking to the rookies. I forgot what rookie class it was. And he was telling the rookies they should have a fall guy. You should have someone in your entourage that's willing to take the blame. Should you get in trouble? ESPN let him go. I believe that was 2014. And then Fox picked him up with FS1 about 2 years ago, and now they've let him go. So there ain't too really many options to be a sports analyst outside of ESPN and FS1. So I don't know what the future holds for Cris Carter. I do know he coaches his sons or something like he coaches a high school football team or something like that. I mean, God bless him. Good analyst, knows the game, really intelligent. But like I say, his arrogance and his overall lack of respect for his peers and his coworkers, and like I say, his personality sometimes could just really be, I'm gonna be honest, he comes off like an asshole, and he's probably not the easiest guy to work with. When you've been let go from two major sports networks within a matter of 5 years, it could be a problem. So not surprised they let Cris Carter go, but it is what it is, man. Let me know what y'all think. Cris Carter is out of there.